Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Christine with Patter Crafts with a project for Scrapping for Less. Today I'll be making a card using the stamp set from Echo Park. It is called But Coffee First. It has some really great sentiments. But coffee first, keep calm, coffee on. Today is a hot chocolate kind of day. Cold hands, warm heart. But today I'll be using this sentiment here, coffee, because adulting is hard. There are 2 coffee cup images and 1 stamp with 3 coffee beans. So I do have 2 pieces of pattern paper. When I first started, I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, but I do end up using this super light pink with brown polka dots. So today I'm making a shaker card, so I am going to be putting the sentiment in the shaker area. So I'm getting some dies here, a stitched rectangle die and a circle die for my shaker portion, putting those into place, and then I'm going to take those over to my Cuttlebug and cut those out. Just grabbing some white pieces. I'm going to need a piece for the sentiment behind the circle, and I need a white piece of paper for my inside mat. So the white mat I have for where I'm going to stamp the sentiment is a little big because it's the same size as the pink and polka dot paper, and I want it to be just a little bit smaller so that I don't have any issues trying to line it up. So I just use a pencil and put a circle where the shaker piece is going to be, and now I'm going to stamp my sentiment with some Memento ink. This is a brown ink. I don't have the name of it right here, but I will put it in the description below. Once that's done, I'm just prepping my card base. This is some Hot Fudge cardstock from My Favorite Things. Going to erase my pencil line before I forget. Then I decide I'm going to bring in those coffee beans and just add a few of those around the sentiment. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece onto my card panel, making sure to line it up with that circle before I press it down. And now I'm cutting my piece of acetate and getting ready to glue that. I probably should have done that first because I do like to give this a few minutes to dry before I adhere any foam tape to it. So while that is drying, I am going to grab my Misty and I'm going to do some stamping with the Solid Image smaller coffee cup. I do need to stamp it a couple of times to get a really good impression. If you use just a clear acrylic block, it's a pretty simple image. You might be able to just stamp twice without any issue, but since I have the Misty, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm stamping the solid coffee cup 3 times along the bottom just to kind of decorate the inside of the card a little bit. So that's all set. I'm not doing anything further with that, so I'm going to just go ahead and adhere that to the center of my card. So now this piece should be dry, so I'm going to grab some 3M foam tape. I find for circle or oval shapes or anything with a curve to just cut the foam tape really thin and take the backing off, and then you are able to manipulate it around those circles very easy. I am going to double up on the foam tape because I really want the little shaker elements to shake around, and if it's on 2 layers of foam tape, it just shakes a little bit better. You don't have to worry too much about them clumping on top of one another and getting stuck. So I'm just grabbing some pieces of foam tape, folding it over in half, and then just taking the backing off and putting that in some of the other areas around the circle. I'm just running my finger around the inside to kind of cut back on a little bit on the stickiness. I know some people use powder, but I find that for me, the powder sticks to the acetate and it leaves a little bit of a film, so I don't generally do that. I thought I was going to fill this with lots and lots of shaker elements, lots of these sequins, but I was afraid you wouldn't be able to read the sentiment, so I took a lot of them back out and just left a few. Now I'm going to grab the to-go coffee cup image from this stamp set. I'm going to stamp that again with that brown Memento ink. And I'm also going to stamp it out quickly on that chevron paper because I want to use that for like the little sleeve. So just stamping out the image really well for the main cup once on the pattern paper so I can just go ahead and cut that out. This was really easy to fussy cut. Could do it really quickly. So again, just going to fussy cut this little cup here. Then I am going to go into my markers and look for a dark brown, which I do have with a Spectrum Noir marker. And of course, to test the color out, you saw right there, I put it on the piece I just cut out and I was like, oh no, now I got to do that again. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that image again and just fussy cut that little piece back out. I'm glad it was so easy to cut out because I would have been really aggravated if it wasn't. So just going ahead and adding that brown marker to just clean up the edges and adhere that little piece on there. So I'm just going to put this directly on with some tape adhesive and going to bring in some Wink of Stella and put that all over the coffee cup. My Wink of Stella seemed a little dry, so I wanted to squeeze it a little bit on some scrap paper just to make sure I didn't get a big clump of glitter on my image. I've done that before. You don't want to squeeze your Wink of Stella over your project. Once that's done, I'm just adding a few clear drops of these Nuvo crystal clear drops in a couple different places, just hitting on the card to flatten them out a little bit so that they don't have that little peak. And there you have it. Coffee because adulting is hard. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more and you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, have a great day or night. Bye.